I'm Rob Newlan, and I'm the director of the creative team for Facebook and Instagram and Oculus and Messenger across Europe, Middle East and Africa. And I run a team of creatives who get the amazing opportunity to go and explore the future of where creativity is going on platforms. It's interesting, what does great look like? Is looking for a singular answer, but of course there isn't one. So when I look at how people should be building video for the platforms at the moment, I probably look at it in a couple of different ways. We firstly look at people, and we don't look at the technology. We look at what are people doing. Like, the best work forever has been built off of really strong, powerful human insights. And I think a lot of digital work has been built off of technical insights or focusing on the newness of it. So part of what we do is we start with the humanity of the work, and then we build for who they are. So if they're on the go, then it's probably quite snackable. It is the shorter videos. If they're in a lean forward moment, if this is something that's interesting to them, if they're in the market to buy a car, then actually, you know what, they're probably going to scroll through something and they're going to want to look at a configurator, or they're going to want to look at the variety of the performance metrics in the car. And then if they're in a real lean back moment, then this is long form video and they'll watch it for as long as the film is good. So I think there isn't a singular answer, and nor should there be, and we have to keep on exploring this, and we'd be nimble in the way in which we produce work for that to understand it. So how do we create production processes that allow us to see that and know as the work's going live that what's working and what's not. The demand is on all of us so the role that brands can play on Instagram and Facebook is exactly the demand that you just put in the question. Is they need to add value. They need to make sure that they're looking at the reciprocity between themselves and the people who are receiving their message. I think the shift of what we've come from is advertising. I'm a bit stupid and I didn't realize this until a couple of years ago, was diverting attention away from something. This is about taking me into a piece so that it transports me, it amuses me, it provides something which is useful or an experience throughout it. But you're constantly looking at the reciprocity of value for those people. So I think brands can play a great role. They just have to make sure that they understand where that value sits with people. Well, I think we're seeing a range, and it is the brands who are, I suppose, exploring and looking for the textures who really get to do it. So, of course, the big digital disruptor brands, the Netflix of the world, the way in which they are thinking about the content, the way in which they're deploying that for multiple audiences, the way in which they've got different working relationships with their creative agencies and their internal creative teams and their media buying. It's phenomenal and really interesting. I think you're seeing great work coming through at the luxury sector as well, looking at the work the Chanels are doing or Bulgari are doing, and the work where they've really got to understand that interrelationship of value for people. But I think it's probably not a singular answer. This is individual brand managers or brand directors briefing for something which is looking at navigating towards the future, that they're having to be brave and set up new systems with their agencies. So I think this is an open opportunity for the industry to come and build on and create for. So brands taking a mobile first approach, I think is not just happening because of old school brands, or I think this is just we're in a transition time where people are looking to how do they brief for, how do they judge, how do they assess the work that's going live. So briefing for mobile when you're not sure necessarily of the confines of how to judge the work coming back is an unnerving thing to do as a brand director. So I totally understand it, but the reality is the only way you get to understand it is by doing it. Yeah. So it is a very tangible, it is very tactile. This is something where you need to start doing it, and you need to start building for this environment, and through that you grow your experience and you grow your ability to understand, to interrogate, and also to build upon.